Okay, if you don't mind, I wanted to address something because TikTok, whenever I'm being truthful about things, TikTok love to take off my video or community guideline. I'm not cussing, I'm not being belligerent or nothing. It's almost like they just like watching my social media, and when I'm speaking the truth, that's their way of stopping you, like they doing Kanye, trying to stop you from voicing your freedom of speech, your freedom of expression. You can't tell my story for me, baby. You cannot speak for me. The only person that could speak for me is myself. I know my story more better than you. I could tell my story more better than you. And I was addressing the fact that for you Mexican men, that has been bothering me. Yes, you have. And I was addressing the fact is that if I go over to Mexico, I would have to learn the language in order to communicate with someone because I'm in a foreign country. I would have to learn their language and I would have to respect their policies, the rules, and their culture. You understand me? It's the same thing goes for you too. You can't cross over my territory. I was born in Mansfield, Ohio, but raised in South Bend, Indiana. That makes me a United States citizen. Now, you have been watching these videos about me, and you have been making asses out of yourself and drawing your own conclusion about me without even sitting down and talking with me. I mean, proper communication. See, if I go to Mexico, I would have to learn um, the language in order to be able to have proper communication with them. Because if I don't have proper communication, I'm just misinterpreting and misunderstanding what I'm hearing. So therefore, I have to learn the language in order to communicate with this black woman. I can't just assume and make an ass out of myself. And some of you have been having this demeanor about yourself that you can dominate and intimidate anybody on the planet. And you can't. You can't. Because I ain't going to let you. Because I put in too much work, and from the age of 20 to where I'm at right now, for my family. Whether it was the good, bad, or the ugly, it was still me as a single woman. I don't need your credit. I don't need you to give me credit for it. I don't need you to give me praise for it. But I do need you to give me respect. If I'm respecting your culture, your family, then you should also have this demeanor about yourself in respecting who I am in this family. My family would not exist without me. Between Mr. and Mrs. Lax, the two married couples of of Antoine Lax, Dominique Lax, Natisha Lax, Anthony Jones. We are the root. That's where the bloodstream began in this family with Milton and Crystal Lax. Then the children had children, but it started from that root. So you can't just bombard your way in this goddamn family and disrespect me. It's almost like if you're a man, you can't go up in another man's house and disrespect him and his family. Well, because I was the single woman taking the place of a man and playing both roles, you can't just come over in my family and begin to bombard my family and be very disrespectful up against me because I'm a woman. No, you don't understand. I was the woman and the man. I was the protector and the one that nurtured or did my best. So you can't just run up on me and just be disrespectful towards me and my family. And you want us to give you respect, but you ain't giving me respect for the work that I put into my family. You think that you can do anything with my child, and because I'm a woman, you think you're gonna have your damn way. And I'm gonna have all, when I do fire off these paperwork, they're going in different goddamn directions. Because in your mind, you figure that this is a woman, you're gonna run the fuck over me. Trust me, I don't have this my whole damn life with raising these kids. I don't have men run up in the house on me and the 4 kids, and I guarantee you, I had them running out of the damn house. Me and those 4 kids. So I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, ain't no man could just come up in this family and dominate shit. Those kids will run your ass away, and I will too. You ain't gonna rule nothing over on this family. You ain't. We will devour you. You want to come on over here? You won't be all up in our business. You like drama? We'll give you drama if that's what you want. We've been trying to be peaceful. We've been trying to keep our head on straight. But you don't want this type of drama. You're not going to just run over me because you looking at me just as a woman. But see, I'm not just as a woman. I'm not a weak woman. Not in my mind. I had to be a woman to fight men's off of my family. I had to be that woman to fight for my family. I had to be that man where there was no man. So if you want to, go ahead. Go ahead. Try it. Try it. Go ahead. Think that you're gonna come up in this family, even with the little bit of us, not without the rest of the family in the back of me that you cannot see. But go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's function on your male chauvinist concept that because she's a woman, we're gonna step all over her. Because this is her daughter, a female, we're gonna run all over Dominique's rights. Go ahead. I'm gonna get your attorney that you don't pay it off. I'm gonna put his name down on that goddamn federal complaint because his job was supposed to represent her and make sure that she was gonna be okay. Go ahead. The city of New York and the police department. Go ahead. Run the hell over me and watch her see those paperworks go out. Go ahead. Mr. Macho ass Mexican man and the rest of you that follow. Go ahead. And I'm going to make my mark in New York like I have in California and Indiana. Try to overlook federal district complaint paperwork. It's there, bruh. It's all over the internet. Crystal Lax and Dominique Lax versus Abode Services, Marcus David Eastman, Akeisha Marie Gray, Doris Wilcox, and Antonio Simpson. Oh, you don't see that? You don't see your name out there like that? Or you just don't want to admit the truth that goddamn she filed on us? You don't want to see it? Don't want to acknowledge the truth that that's your name out there. Google Lax versus Abode Services and see if your name don't pop up. See, I only got myself like I always have. Me and my four kids. Me and my four kids. It's always been me and my four kids. But look how many groups you got to get all those people on just this tiny granny. Arthritis in my knee and every got heart problem. Don't had two strokes. Don't overcame both. Don't overcame my strokes. Walking, talking, and you talking about weight. Wait, can I be real here? I'm happy to just be alive. You talking about some damn weight? I'm more than just weight. I don't live that my whole life. Ain't nobody thinking about that shit. It's gonna come off. That's how I see it. Ain't no lifetime damn terminal ill. Oh my God, she don't gain about 50 or 20 pounds. That is not no life in like cancer. Up there acting like, oh my God, her life is over. Her life is over. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't see people skinny and they got diabetes. They got sugar diabetes. They sit up here with heart problems. They got strokes too. They got lung cancer and stuff. Don't pull that mess on me. Please don't go there. I don't took care of people for 21 years in the nurse home, hospitals, and their home. It's not like that it's not like, oh my God, let's over exaggerate her weight. Oh my God. Oh my God, she's big. Oh my God. Oh, please, you're just adding too much. You're overdoing it. I'm your distraction so that people won't know exactly what's going on with my daughter in New York because you've been doing some things behind my back. See, a zebra never changed their damn stripes. You understand? A person will always repeat themselves. So I know if you're treating me like this in California, I can only imagine what you doing, how you talking to my daughter, and how you mistreating her now that she's far away from her family. A zebra never changed their damn stripes when they call themselves attacking you. That's the good thing about when I was a single mom and you had to learn how to fight off men and fight with men because it teach you to be strong when you don't been on the streets of Los Angeles, Compton, Watts. I've been all up in there. Inglewood. I used to sell chips, used to sell body oils. So I was all over. I was all over in there. So it was something about, I had some Hispanic brothers, some white brothers, and some black brothers, especially the black brothers, told me, I don't want to see you cry no more. Come on, you know how LA is. I don't want to see you cry. You hold your head up, stick your chest out. Are you understanding me? So I'm trying to ask you, what type of woman in my mind do you think that you're dealing with? I lived up in East LA. Used to be friends with the head, the shot caller. The one that calls the shot up in Lincoln Heights. Him and I used to walk together. Used to walk and talk. Yeah. Had to fight the Grand Dragon of the white KKK, Michigan, Buchanan, Michigan. Didn't like for black and Mexicans to be in the apartment complex. Had the little Confederate flag waving on the back of the truck. I won't, saying they're derogatory, that they want the ends and the wetbacks to get out the apartment complex. See, this is what I don't understand about Mexican people, because in our high school we didn't have that Mexican and black kind of debate or fight. My best friend was Nifa Gaza. I never forget her. You understand? I worked El Capino daycare center. That was an old Mexican neighborhood. We ain't never did that shit. We ain't did that shit in South Bend, Indiana. We ain't do mess like that, like they do here in California. When I lived in East LA, that was my first place when I first came to Los Angeles. It was East LA. It was 28th Avenue. It was up in the avenues. Anybody know about the avenues? Then you already know. Not too many black people can be up in there. You feel me? Nope. They ain't gonna just let anybody up in there. So at first they thought that maybe we was troublemakers, like a mom and her children. And I was so Indiana white. And one guy, he was walking down the street and he was like, "Man, take y'all asses back to Watts." And I'm like so dumbfounded. I'm like, what is a Watts? What's a Watts? Really, seriously. Indiana, smaller town than Los Angeles. So I'm like, what is a Watts? I don't understand what a Watts is, right? But after a while, when I went to Watts, I know I learned that from a brother. So at first they was giving us the hardest time. Oh man. And it was like, why is these people acting like that? Right? Then they seen that our family was not about what they thought that we was. So then they became a family to us. So then I started learning from them. You understand what I'm saying? So along the way, as a single woman, I had many teachers. I had many teachers. I would sit back and I watched the Mexican women how they would do things, and I seen that it made it a lot more easier on me. So I tried it their way, and it made it a lot more easier on me. You understand? See, I believe that you can learn from each culture. I don't think like you. I don't think one-sided. The white women, I admire them. I don't like their disrespectful demeanor when they're disrespecting me and I have done nothing to them. Nitpicking, you understand? And where you provoke me to have to strike back. You understand? But as far as I admire, a white woman can be at home and she will find a way to get a job, or she will find a way to do coupon clippings, all type of different resources in order to still help her family and still bring in to her family what she needs. You understand? The Mexican women, I learned from them how they would get their bags and how they would double up the bags and make it into like a purse thing. So you didn't have to carry like all those bags on your arms. It was basically doubled up and you could just put it on your shoulders or whatever and go on about your business. You know, there's certain things that I learned from cultures, from different people or different culture. I lived in the Asian community. I would watch them. You understand how peaceful and humble that they would carry themselves and walk around. You understand? I'm not like you. Because I have such an open mind. My children have such an open mind. That Dominique that you call yourself hating on and mistreating, oh, this girl is very open minded, maybe a little bit too friendly to you. And maybe that's it. She was too nice and kind to you overly. I don't see how she would compliment women and they would give her that nasty attitude. Like they would give me, I would compliment women. Oh, that looks nice on you. And then before I know it, oh, you ain't all that now. I was just trying to compliment you. Truth be told, I see why some of the brothers get an attitude with some of the women. You're not all that and a bag of chips and popcorn and 99 cents Doritos. You're not. But I'm saying, if you're of a different culture, and this woman right here raised her children, what gives you the right to grab my daughter and try to hide my daughter from her family and from her mother? What is giving you that right? You're trying to take advantage of her mental health and her disability. That's why you didn't want her on that medication, because she is so strong-minded like her mother. Do you hear my mind? Do you see how my mind functions? She just like me. And she speaks for herself when she's on her medication without anybody coercing her or suggestively putting thoughts into her brain or manipulating her, taking her to court while she's not under her proper medication and stapling her, labeling her as an unfit dang person. Now, I see two coins to the side of the story, but this is not what I'm going to allow to happen. That you think that because you have this up under her, that she's going to be in a facility like they don't have my mom Beulah for years and until 67, where she got kidney problems and stuff. Now, all of a sudden, now they let her out the institutional system. No, that's not where I want my daughter. And I'm making a public announcement. She's not going to be locked up for years. Matter of fact, the hospitals can't really just keep them in there like that because it's like patient dumping. They're going to patient dump her eventually when she become well because they got to make room for other patients. Medical, that's the medical field. And then the hospital also know that that's a federal lawsuit against the hospital, against the staff. It's a lawsuit. The doctor is going to get sued. Doctor name is going on a federal district complaint. The hospital do not want that publicity and don't want to be in the media. So that's the chairman of the hospital because I'm so good at what I do that when you piss me off, I'm going far over your head. I'm going to the hospital CEO and I'm going to let them know that I have intent to sue on behalf of this patient. And if you try to hide her, then I'm going to put out in public this is stone kidnapping and smuggling her. You cannot deprive and you cannot do whatever you want because I came from another country and I picked out this black woman family. So we gonna sit up here and do whatever we want and we think that you're gonna trample over my rights and my motherhood. Then in that case, all of us should be able to invade people home and here I see your son, I see your daughter, here I'm gonna snatch your son and your daughter from you. Then I'm gonna go hide your son and your Mexican son and daughter from you. Then all of us should be able to do it then. What makes it good for you? All of us should be able to put the cameras on each other. If you can sit up there and camerize my black family privacy in the inside of our home, what if I had a team that was very good at it and very much sit up there and put the camera on all of you, everybody in this complex. I wonder what goes on behind closed door. Now that will be a reality show to see. I wonder what really goes on in those state facilities with guards and correction. How many of them rape women? How many of them beat the inmates? How many of them mistreat the mental health? If we put cameras, let's do the camera thing. Let's really expose all corruptness. Let's really expose people that's doing wrong, but they ain't no cameras on them. See, this is why Karens don't like the cameras. Because, see, back in the days, see, I'm glad that the kids came up with Karen. Because back in the days, I ain't know what to call them besides racist white women. At the end of the day, they used to come at me just like they coming at y'all right now. So back in the days, they called it ruffling the feather of a black woman. And they found it entertainment to them. I don't know. Maybe it got their panties wet or something to have me upset to keep on poking, and provoking you before you go off. You understand what I'm saying? Are you feeling me? And that's exactly what these cameras are doing. So y'all kids did good. Maybe that's what we need cameras. Maybe we need more of them. There, to me, in a facility where they think that they are not being watched, when they take those inmates off camera because they brag about it. I heard one security correction officer said, "Yeah, he said this to me, so I took that MF off of camera and I beat the hell out of him." Are you feeling what I'm saying? See, we need to catch those. We need to catch those because basically, in a nutshell, your job is just to babysit. How hard is babysitting people that's locked up in a cage anyway? It's just for you to monitor, make sure things don't get out of line. But basically, you're sitting behind a video or desk or whatever. If they need toilet paper, you just get toilet paper. If they need to shower, I mean, it's not a hard job when you really look at it. If you're not provoking them, if you're not messing with them. Maybe they need real deep. Maybe you need to make it like China, where they got a corner and they got cameras in every corner. We're going to see every damn thing. Maybe you need to make it like that in the facility because they always get away with it because people don't have proof. So they always get away, and then they're able to write falsified documentation and cover up. But in that camera business, you understand? See, I would have the regular cameras where they know that, yeah, I know they watching me here. But see, I would have another additional smaller one that they wouldn't even fucking detect, and they wouldn't even know that it's there. And I'm watching the employees. Because, of course, on camera, they're going to be well behaved. But where do you take this inmate off a camera? That's how you will get them, the corrupt ones. That's okay. I don't need you to cover up for this one because I already don't seen what they did to this person. I don't need you to snitch bitch on them because they already don't snitched on themselves on this other hidden camera that they don't see in those tiny spots where they think they off cameras. That's how you get them in the juvenile facility in the state of California. How many of these young people get raped, abused, and murdered up in there too? Those. Maybe, yeah. I mean, why not? Make it just like China. They got cameras in every spot. And since you want to be eavesdropping in on my family, I wonder I mean, this is a good show here because I know that you got to be bored with me because I don't do nothing but sit and maybe eat and go to sleep and do a little work and that's it. So I know it got to be something more exciting. I mean, if you're going to be a director and a producer, I mean, give people real excitement, honey. Let us see exactly what goes on behind since nobody is respecting my rights and the rights of my son and his girlfriend, let everybody see what it's like, what goes on behind everybody closed door. How many daddies or pillars of the community are we going to see you touching your children at nighttime? Or I wonder how many of us going to see you abusing your wife and your children and the dog. Since that's how you play it, let's make it all public. Let's make everybody's life public if that's how you want to play it. If you can get away with violating my rights, then you're going to get away with violating anybody's rights. You can put me out there to the general public and got away with it. Then you're going to think that you could put everybody secret family or private family affairs out there. Well, two wrongs don't make a right. So, I mean, the way how I see it, eye for eye. I know the Bible says that it shouldn't be no eye for eye, tooth for tooth. But I believe in that. I believe eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Whatever you don't do to me, you need to have that stuff done to you. I'm very old fashioned. Whatever kind of medicine that you don't dish out to me, it should be done to you. Whatever kind of drugs that these men was putting in my daughter's body at one point, I know that they would, yeah, you smoke weed, you get high, and it's like, don't smoke behind them. But it's like at the end of the day, smoking behind them and then acting totally strange like they had that stuff laced. Well, the same thing that you don't gave to her, this is the message from Miss LAX. I believe that you need a triple dose of it. Any female, any male, you need a triple dose of your own damn medicine that you gave to Dominique. Any type of treatment that you don't did to Dominique, this is my words. You need the same treatment, but it just need to be higher. It just need to be leveled up. That's how I see it. I see it. It doesn't matter who you are. You need the same treatment. Why is it good for you to mistreat somebody that never did nothing to you? Dominique is so innocent, and especially in her condition, she's like a kid at times. At some time. So it's like, how can you hurt somebody that has a disability and a mental health illness? How can you sit up there and hurt them and they're not doing nothing to you? They're in their own damn world. What part of that you supposed to be the normal one? What part of that disability that you're not understanding, or mental ill or mental health? See, it seems like some bullies don't bully people of their regular mental health or physical health. They want to aim for the older people. They want to aim for children, or they want to aim for the mental health. Because it's something about when you watch them deal with a man that'll go toe to toe with them, they back down from a strong man, stronger than them. But when it comes to the mental health, oh, they brave heart. They think they doing big business. They doing big time because they messing with the mental health. Or they messing with little children. They the big bad bully. Well, the way I feel is that in life, if you bully women, children, and the mental health, then you should get bullied back. You're only getting what you put out there. You like to be a bully as an adult? Well, it's amazing. Don't be complaining because people on your job is bullying you. You just getting your medicine back on you. Don't be complaining because your supervisor and your boss is bullying you. You put that out in the universe and you just getting it back. Stop bullying, and maybe your supervisor stop bullying you. Stop bullying, and maybe your coworkers will stop talking about you and harassing you on the job. You're harassing me. You're harassing my daughter. And then people at the job, God is allowing people at the job to harass you back. Whatever you sow into the universe, you're just reaping it back. So how is it good for you to do things to people, but you don't want it done back to you? How is it for you to drug out people, but you don't want to be drugged out? How is it for you to put your hands on somebody, but you don't want somebody to put their hands on you? I'm not getting it. It's okay for you to hurt someone physically, but you don't want that punch back to, you don't want somebody to punch you back and injure you. No. I'm sorry, and that part of about the Bible to turn the other cheek. Well, some of us is not completely healed in Jesus and delivered all the way in Jesus. So that scripture having marinated for some of us, and turning the other cheek is basically if you slap me, and if the hands of heaven don't stop my hands from slapping you back, then that scripture don't work. It don't work. It ain't gonna work for some of us because Jesus still dipping us in the water and the holy oil, and that we still ain't right yet. You can't just go off of that because some of us ain't right yet. If you hit them, they're going to hit you back. Is anybody understanding me? Because I feel like I'm a woman that nobody is purposely trying to understand. I feel like I'm a woman that nobody can relate to me. Or is there anybody out there that can relate to me? Cause and I block off my comments because at the end of the day, I don't heard everybody else's story about me. I don't heard all of their comments and their opinions and their 2 cents. So hopefully, I'm gonna go back in here and make sure that my comment is all, because I'm not giving you nothing else to say about me, because it's always a nasty disposition type of comment. So I ain't gonna even give that to you. I cut it off for a reason, because you won't have no other choice but to hear my videos and to hear me. Even if I had a radio station, I don't think that I'll let you comment. You just have to hear what do she have to say today, and that's it. Good all, God bless, and that's it. She's signing off. Even if I had an iPod, what is that? Podcasts. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't let you comment. You already don't have your say so. You already don't tore this family down enough. And I believe that it comes a point where it says enough is enough. Enough is enough. Like some of the white people are speaking up about the racism. They're saying enough is enough. Some white people is really saying enough is enough of it. I mean, because it's traumatizing them too. It's traumatizing when the effect of racism cause an effect, and when the effect of racism, it also affect some of the white people that don't want that in their life, and it's a form of like forcing, like the same way how you force black people into your racism by keep nitpicking with them and picking with them and picking with them, and eventually people gonna stand up to protect themselves. So you have pulled them into your racism. Some of them don't want to be pulled into your class of racism. You don't get it. This is your own game. This is your game. You're not getting it. This is your game. And not everybody want to come outside and play with you. You know how there's some kids on the playground. There's some kids you can't wait to play with them. There's Johnny, there's Karen, there's Lakeisha. I love playing with them. We have so much fun. And then there's the kids that sit up there want to bully, name calling and stuff. And you ain't want to have nothing to do with them as kids. Yeah, you're those. You're those. You're those where it's like, come on, everybody, let's get away from him. Because you're the bully. You're the name caller. You the kid on the playground that want to bully and name call and sit up there and don't play with her. Don't play with her. But so you're adults doing this. That's what makes it hilarious and embarrassing on you as an adult. Don't, we don't want nobody to like her and her kid. Don't like her. Don't play with her. I used to have those black women who I told you they did a job on me. The black woman in Indiana. Don't play with that woman, because I always been that woman. It's not Crystal, Miss Lax. That woman. Don't play with that woman and her kids. Girl, that's an irritating factor too, because I heard that dang little project style, little skanky attitude. Girl, that woman is up here. That's how they start off. Girl, do you know what that woman did? Girl, that woman and those kids. And they still talk the same way today about that woman. I'm always that woman. The same way when they've been doing some things with my daughter, Dominique. It's not Dominique Lax. is that girl mom, that girl. Dominique is that girl. So I'm that woman, and Dominique is that girl mom, that good mom. That's how they talk. And then they get mad at me. I'm spilling the bean on everything. They get mad at me because they think I sound proper like white people. Yeah, they have been calling me a white woman for years, but I have fought the Grand Dragon of the KKK. So that means racism. So that means that I ain't too white because I get racist. People treat me in a prejudiced, discriminating way, me and my children. So I'm not understanding how somebody black can sit up there and call me white when I'm going through a lot of racism, discrimination, and prejudice, and bigotry and biasness. So to me, you look stupid for you as a black person to be saying such things like that. And I'm sitting up here going through racism. If I was really white, you would think that I would not have to have that worry on me. It's not like, oh, listen how they talk. They all talk like that. All of it. They sound just like her, girl. I don't like how she talk. That's what you say. That's what you've been saying over the years. You see, look, and that one looked just like her, Dominique. Dominique looked just like her. That skanky ass attitude too. Ugh. Y'all like her? Ugh. That nasty, skanky Indiana black woman attitude. They think that they all that, but you up in the project. Think that you all that, but you scraping and scamming and scheming for money to hit a lick. Waiting to steal somebody's social security benefit because she don't know how to get money no kind of way. No other type of way. Low life type of hustling. Always street mentality. Let me guess, you got to think of another way to get a lick. That's what you're thinking of. So whose social security benefits you going to try to target this time because you don't want to go to work? Low class, street level type of mentality. It ain't like they thinking like, it ain't like they thinking like, shoot, we about ready to fucking get thousands. They sitting up here plotting and planning for $100 check, $300 check. And after that $300 is gone, if it's three people involved, you're gonna have to split that three-way. What's three divided into 300? They only get 100 a piece, maybe two. It all depends on how big the check is. Wow, you're talking about low class. Oh my God! And then you get upset because I don't speak Ibanic. Is that what it is? Ibanic. Well, I think that when you go to a job and it is a majority is white men job and they have structured it a certain way to bring forth a form of professionalism. And I believe that in order to get hired at some of their facilities and company, I think they want you to conduct yourself, speak a certain way, professional, in order for their customers and their clients to be able to effectively communicate with you. So don't get mad at me or any other black, white person that have to speak a certain way in order to get a job or take care of business. Don't do it. And I've heard white people say that too. Please don't go there because that black ghetto side does come out. Okay? Don't let it fool you, baby. Don't let it fool you. You've been hanging around with those type of black people for too long, huh? Yeah. Yeah, don't let it fool you, honey. So, at the end of the day, I don't think that I have to apologize because I don't speak black Ebonics. I don't think I have to. I think that they have all type of tools for you to use to improve on your language, to improve on your ebonics. They have Hook on Phonics and they have Rosetta Stone. So anyone that have any form of a language barrier, because I had to take speech therapy and there's still some things that I don't speak very clear, but what I do is substitute. As the white people call it, you're very articulate. Okay, all right, whatever that means, but I'm just speaking. Because some of them think I'm too ghetto. And you mean countrified, it seems like I came from the ghetto, not ghetto. I can't be ghetto because ghetto is a geographic place. It is a location, so I'm not a building. Do you mean that I act like, I sound like I came from the ghetto, the slums, the country? Is that what you mean? It's amazing how they try to be so smart but yet dumb. Oh, she's so ghetto. Please, if you're going to insult me, I thrive off of intelligent insults. All of the fat ass, that's very low class form from you. Your statue is of a strong man, but and a woman, and you're sounding like a child, like a sixth grader. Matter of fact, a third grader. My grandchildren, they talk proper and bigger vocabulary words than you. Yeah, they do. They're way advanced than you as a grown adult. Fat ass. Yeah, that's what they call me. Fat ass. Fat ass bitch. I mean, just being totally disrespectful. And I haven't said nothing to them. You understand? But if I did something to them, then I'll be in the wrong for disrespecting me. Are you feeling me? That's nitpicking. That's bothering. That's provoking. Tell the truth and shame the damn devil. Up there, my grandkids, 10 grandkids, you hear them talk, they talk so clear, they talk so proper. Oh, they really not gonna love them, huh? Because they talk even more better proper. I still got some countrified ways up in me. I still say y'all. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Is that ghetto or is it country? See, some of y'all in California, y'all got kin folks that you're embarrassed of. Yeah, they probably hillbillies, rednecks. Yep, and you try to act so California conservative, but you know that that's not where you came from. You didn't come from there. You try to deny your true culture too. You know that your kin folks are hillbillies back in the woods and try to be all around your California friends. Try to act like you don't know nothing about that lifestyle because you embarrassed of your own roots. You embarrassed of your own blood. Instead of embracing, yes, honey, my family. Yes, my family. They hillbillies, but they good folks. They good people. What about you in denying your own white culture? Mm-mm. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, you didn't hillbilly uncle. Oh, Uncle Billy Bob, and trying to hide him. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. He just tell the truth, don't he? He just call everybody out, don't he? That's why you can't stand him. He don't give a dang about your rich friends. He don't give a dang about their stuck-up attitude, they high-minded ways. That's no different from the country folks, honey. Those uppity people, stuck-up people. We're no different. Because I can't stand high-minded, stuck up people that sit up there try to act like they crap don't stink, and it does. They go to the toilet and that mess smell like I don't know what, honey. It's not like they get up from the toilet and they boo-boo smells like a thing of roses, honey. That stuff stink. I don't took care of some rich white patients, and when they boo-boo, it's just like everybody else. It stink. Because you got money, and it's like, it's not like that your boo-boo come out smelling like roses and vanilla. It stank, honey. It stank. With a stanky, skanky attitude. And then we have to deal with the black bougie, stuck up ones. Bougie. Bougie. Try to act like you got it like that, but you still doing rent a center. You rent your car, you rent your house, you rent your hair, you rent your purse. Everything is rentacenter.com. Everything got to be rented out, but then trying to portray yourself that you got money like that. Try to portray among your white friends that I don't know what beans and cornbread is. I never had to eat greens and cornbread. I don't know what fried chicken is. Knowing that if you truly black, you had that black grandmama, a big mama, you a damn lie. And you probably know what a can of Crisco, a lard is on top of the stove. That can that your grandmama is not going to throw away. She going to reuse her oil. And try to act like they don't know nothing about it because I'm around my white friends, and I wouldn't want my white friends to know that I came from this type of background. Who cares? Who cares about your background? How are you right now in the present life? Well, I wouldn't want them to see what kind of family that I came from. Why not? If they crazy dysfunctional, they gonna see them anyway. Might as well go on to get it over with. Like, look here, my family is dysfunctional, but we good family. Yeah, but at the end of the day, but if you can hang, hang. Go for it. Sitting up there hiding your family member, hiding them. No, bring them out to know. That's how you really gonna see if that person is for you or not. If they can't hang with them, well, then you already know. Got you embarrassed of your own blood. Got you dyeing your hair, but you still speak Spanish. Your hair blonde, but you still Mexican, and you're denying your Mexican blood. Because I'm trying to blend. You black as hell and saying, I don't want to be black no more. Okay, well then go change yourself white then. Let's see how that worked for you. Go ahead. Do it. I want to be white, and I don't like the black culture. I don't like black people, but you're black. Your skin is brown just like mine's. Go for it. Go change it. I just want to see when that miracle happened, let me know so I can make money off of you. Go ahead, white people. I don't want to be white no more because I think black is cool. Go ahead, go change yourself black. Matter of fact, go put a lot of oil on yourself. Go just dye yourself. Just burn yourself in the sun. See how that worked for you. Because this society have taught us not to love ourselves, not to love our family, be ashamed of our family, be ashamed of your dysfunctional family. It is, no matter how you try to hide them, they're going to kick their way out the box. So you might as well let people see who they are. Ain't no need of pretending, honey. It's like I was trying not to show you my crazy ass mama, but here she is. I was trying not to show you my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, and my whole family. Oh my God, that I'm so embarrassed of. But if it wasn't for your family, you wouldn't even be here. No matter if some of them got some real good-hearted family members, they just country or ghetto, as you want to put it. But they good-hearted people, though. At the end of the day, and some of them have you've been successful because they have always had your back and they believed in you, and now that you have arrived to your destiny of what you wanted to become, now you're treating them like crap. Have you seen some of the celebrity? They living in these nice homes, but they got their mom still living in projects or in unsafe neighborhood. Wouldn't you think that once you have made it, the first thing that you want to do, I mean, some people, it's like, I'm doing this for my family, I'm doing this for my moms, but you would think that they would have moved their mom up out of that situation. How can you brag about having so much money and you got your mom still living in a dangerous neighborhood, or your family members? If you got, and they living in 8-room mansion, that's enough. I mean, you don't need all that damn room. And how many toilets can you use at one time? That's enough to put your little family that you concerned about, to move them out of the bad neighborhood and to put them in a nice neighborhood. Now, it may take some adjustment because, hey, this is this neighborhood, and so we can't act like that in this neighborhood. And you may have to keep on talking to them, but they'll get it. They eventually get it. I'm not getting that. How you have to deny everything about yourself in order for people to accept you. Well, then I'm going to tell you something. I've been so rejected all my life to the point where I'm rejecting them. I'm rejecting you for your rejections. How about that? I just made up in my mind, come on, I'm 55 years old and I love reality. I love the truth. So I'm 55 years old. If you don't like me, I'm good. I never been I've been an outcast even in high school. I wanted to. I was not that girl that wanted to dress like the other girls. I did overalls. Made my own skirts and my own pants out of my blue jeans. I would rock my own skirts, my own bags. I make handmade bags. I did my own thing. And I've always been like that. I never wanted to fit in with the crowd or the it crowd or the clique crowd. I just never was that type of woman or that type of girl. Now you could see, people see how I am. I stay to myself because I don't like the crowd. I don't like the clique. I ain't trying to fit in. If I if I go and have a drink or so, that's because that's my clique. That's who I feel comfortable around. That's who I want to hang out with. Majority of the time it was men, but now they don't got so sissified. They sitting up there talking about women weight and what they look like in clothes. No, I used to be a tomboy. I used to hang out with boys and men, and they was cool as hell. I don't know what to call them nowadays. They ain't cool to hang out no more. Because by the time you get up, he's sitting up there gossiping about your weight like a woman would. Well, in that case, ain't no need to hang out with no man. Because that's what you hear as a woman. It's like, dang, you can't even have a drink. Because here she go. It's either going to be about her weight. I have gained so much weight. Oh my God. I ain't getting fat. I ain't getting fat. And it's like when you're out and you just want to have a drink and have a good time and have a fun time. But truth be told, I don't want to hear about your weight. Don't want to hear about your weight. Don't want to hear about your boyfriend problem. And don't want to see your ugly kids. Because that's exactly the conversation goes. Nope, not on this dang occasion. If it's supposed to be girls' night out, then that's exactly what it is. Let's drink. The conversation goes to, and my kids, and here's Junior. Yeah, look at Junior. This was when he was first born. What a boy. What a boy for a nice gathering. I mean, can we do this on tea time when we're having tea time? This is drink wine time. Like nobody wants to hear about Junior, and you're trying to sit up there and get nice and mellow off of wine. Don't want to hear about your kid. Don't want to hear about your fat ass and your weight. If you don't like something, just change it then. Don't want to hear about your boyfriend cheating on you again. If he ain't doing you right, just drop him. Now, can we have a drink? So I might as well just stay over here with the women then, because the men don't turn sissified on me. They ain't cool to hang out with. They want to have sex right away. No, I used to have drinking buddies. I mean, I can't drink the way I used to, but still, hang out, watch football, watch sports, sit up there, have a good time with their company. Now you can't have a good. They coming across like they coming across like they just got out of prison. Yeah. So what you mean by that? Huh? And it's like, oh, okay. I just met you like about 5 minutes ago, and you already trying to act like you talking to a cellmate. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with them? No, what you mean by that? Yeah, there will be no shanking today, bruh. You can relax. I only met you 5 minutes ago. They coming across like they cellmate, and they about ready to rumble with you. So what you mean by that? I was just asking, how was your day, sir? That was it. You coming across all rough and prison style, yo. No, no, no. Because bitches like you, women like you. And then all of a sudden now you're categorized as all women. And see, I'm my own individual ass woman and I don't like to be categorized. And then it's going to trigger something inside of me. And then we both going to act like we prison cellmates. So what you trying to say? No, I'm trying to figure out what you trying to say because you don't know me. So now we're going back and forth. Yeah, I don't feel like having that drama. Because now he's looking to power pull. No, the power game. Nah, I don't feel like doing that. I'm too old. The energy has died out in me for good fights back and forth. I'm just gonna probably take a Benadryl and go to sleep on your ass. Basically. So I think I'm done with that. Men, don't think that you're gonna run over me. Don't. I learned that paralegal stuff for a reason. Not only because I had a father that really suffered back in the late 70s at the hands of Mansfield, Ohio police, white racist cops that beat him, a police brutality, Leon Williams. I know they want that name to disappear, but it would never disappear. It will be always brought up because it was a case in the newspaper and it was all over the newspaper. Okay, so Leon Williams of Mansfield, Ohio, police brutality. I think it was back in. Let's see, I went. After my father died, they moved me to Indiana. Told you I've been one of those tossed here and there. So I think it was like the late 77, somewhere up in there. And every time I try to find information, it's almost like they erased his records or something because I try to find that article of that police brutality and I cannot find it. So if anybody find that and find that information for me, just send it to me. Yeah, for real. Because I wanna read it for myself. I heard about the story and I seen it firsthand when I was 12 years old, and my dad was having a heart attack after they had beat him. Then he was with his girlfriend Sarah, and then something happened, and then he was on the ground and he was gasping for air. He was having a heart attack because he had heart problems. And then I ran down the alley when they told me, "Oh, your dad, your dad." I said, what happened?" He down the street. He's down the street. So I ran down the alley and I seen the police lights and everything. So I seen my dad down on the ground, and he, you know, having a heart attack, right? Grasping for air, like that, right? And so I'm saying, somebody help my dad. I'm 12 years old, right? At this point, because they took me out of foster care and gave me to my dad for a minute. This was like 6 months after living with dad. Okay, so somebody help my dad. So I looked up at the police officer, and he had this police hat on, blue eyes, and of course his uniform. And he stared at me with a very hateful stare. I'll never forget it. And he stared at me, and then he turned around and looked at the white paramedics, and then he said, "Let the nigger die, let the nigger die." And then he turned back around and he started laughing and joking with the white paramedics. That's a story I'll never forget. I know it. I remember. I have good memories from childhood. Trust me and believe it. Everything that I say, I bet you I have said it over the years, and it's still the same thing. And I remember that. And my father died. That's it. And they couldn't stand me because I was his child. And then we won a state lawsuit, and the trust fund, there was a trust fund in my name, and they didn't even want me to get the money. So they have hated me for years. I'm Leon Williams' child. And my father was a civil rights advocate. He stood up for rights too. And my uncle David Williams. They beat him too. They beat all the brothers. There was brothers. I had a lot of uncles. And in Mansfield, they did it. Yeah, both my dad and my uncle Dave, which was my favorite uncle, because he fought for the case for his brother. You understand? And they're both passed away. So this police brutality been going on for a long while. This systematic brutality been going on for a long while, and I tell you how it affected me as a kid. Um, I used to hate white police officers, and it took me a while to get over that. You know what happened? God started sending me white police officers that was the opposite of what I seen, and what I went through with my dad. You understand? And that's what helped me to change my perspective. And then what another thing, they used to call me crazy when I was growing up. I was a crazy. I'd just been through a lot as a kid. And everyone would have just all these labels on me. All labels, crazy, ugly, all of these labels on me. Severely mental, retarded, incapable of learning. Just everything have been negative on me, on my name, my whole life. I don't think that they ever thought that I would get this far. I think that they wrote me off a long time ago. But God wrote me back on. God put me back on. They took me off the list, but God put me back on the list. They didn't think that I would have the capability of learning but I went back. That used to stick in my head, even though after I became a CNA in their state of Indiana, the same people that labeled me severely mental retarded, but I became a CNA because in order for you to become a CNA, you have to be able to learn and you have to be able to pass a state requirement test. And I passed the test and been a CNA for 21 years. Then I said, but it's something when somebody call you that as a kid, it stays here. So I had to prove something. It was always about bettering myself to prove something that I'm not what they told me I was. So I moved here in 1994 to California. I lived in Carmichael Garden. I lived out there in Carmichael too. And I attended American River College and they had so much resource available for me. I had my learning tools. I had to use special tools in order for me to comprehend everything. So they made sure I had a recorder, and so I could go back and listen to the teaching. You know what I'm saying? Just extra tools for learning. And so I was determined. I said, I'm going to take the most hardest course, and that was psychology. Even though I didn't finish it out because I thought I was going to get a PhD in psychology, and then I seen how long I had to go, and my attention span can probably only do a year at a time. So I was like, no, that's not going. I'm not going to get a PhD, but I'm going to finish this out, these semesters out. So I got a 4.0 at American River College in my psychology. But then I wasn't satisfied because I was in the medical field. So I got tired of being in the medical field. I got burnt out in the medical field. So yeah, because it'll drive you there. It'll get you there. Yeah, in a nursing home especially. It will dry you out. So therefore, I wanted something totally different, a different field. So I went over towards law. And I said, okay, all right, since I'm severely mental retarded, I bet you if I could get law, because law is very complex. So if I could get law and do good in this, everything that these people have called me and everything that these people have placed on my name and labeled me in have been a lie. Now, this is what I'm saying to myself because I still had to convince myself and still had to prove to myself that I wasn't what they told me I was. So I went to Los Angeles. Now, I was living with my uncle, Charles Williams, in Los Angeles. So I attended to stay out of trouble. I attended ICDC College. They was offering the paralegal program, which is an accredited college. Okay, no matter what nobody say, it was good. I got taught by one of the top Los Angeles black female attorney. But she says she just got burnt out too in her area of field. So she started teaching the class. She started teaching paralegal classes. And she was good because the way that I had two attorneys that taught me. There was one, he was the white guy, he was good, but he was so lectural boring. You know, he was like the dry eye, and what you want to do is. So I would always get bored and sleepy. But the way how Yolanda taught the class, she taught it where she could relate to around the way girls or the hood girls or the ghetto girls. You know what I'm saying? And she did scenario. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. She did scenario that could relate to us. You understand? It wasn't a matter of me not being able to learn. It was a matter of how I was being taught. And then a matter of being abused at home. A child can't think when a child is being abused. So at the end of the day, God made me, no matter how you try to water me down. People have spoken so much positive words over me, and that God have made me a powerful woman, and I'm going to be a blessing to a lot of people because of what things that I have overcame and I have been through. So no matter what my enemies are saying, how they're saying, the way that they're saying, at the end of the day, even this moment in time, this too shall pass, even with my enemies. Either you're going to have to move on in life away from me, I'm going to tell you how. From experience. Either you're going to die, either you're going to move away, you're going to have to locate to another area. But eventually, you will no longer be in my life, because this too shall pass. You can only last in my life for so long because things in your own life will begin to arise, and it's going to need your undivided attention. So therefore, you only can play this game with me for so long. These people can only watch this for so long because things will begin to arise in their life that needs their serious attention instead of watching videos about me. So I guarantee you, this too shall pass. This situation that you're dragging me into is going to pass. It's going to end. And I'm a writer, and there's a beginning of your book, and there's a middle part, but then there's an ending part. And it's going to end, sir and ma'am. It's going to end. There's something in your own personal individual life that's going to force you to move on and push on past this level of life. Either you're going to transfer to a different college, or your visa is used up. You're going to have to go on back to your country. But there's going to be something in your life that's going to push you on. You can't stay stuck here with me. You can't stay here because I can't stay here. There's a time and season for everything. And then there's a time to be pushed on. There's a time to be moved on because God got another level and God got another destiny, even for your enemies, even for your enemies to be used at this location. See, you think that you're in control, but you're not. There are some things that have to happen in order for God's will to be done, in order for God to still get the praise and the glory. Like Nicodemus had to betray Jesus in order for what was prophesied to have came to pass. Are you understanding me? So there are some people in our life that must be here in order to better me and better themselves. Because you may think that you're hurting me, but actually it has aroused even more betterness and greaterness out of me. Even my writings came from you bothering me. That ugliness, calling me ugly. Well, I'm going to write about it. Crystal Lack's Book of Wisdom, a gift from God. I wrote about the wisdom. The same wisdom that you hear me speak, it's in the book. It's in my books. And I know that I don't gave something to you. So you're not really in charge. You're not. It's a false sense of power. And that's another message. People walk around here with a false sense of power. You don't really have the real power. God does. The universe have the real power. You don't. You have a false sense of power. What? Because you could connect to your brothers, your sisters, and your cousin to sit up here and team up against me and Dominique, do evil and wrong up against us? Plot, plan, evilness. That's not power. I could do that. That's a regular person ability to connect. That's not power, baby. No, power is when this man can make it rain and flood the earth. No, power is when blizzards come. Power is when at a hurricane. Now that's a powerful man right there. Now that's power. Now that's white power, black power. That's all mankind power, because can't nobody control him. Anyway, I went too long. Think about it. I'm going to share more of my story. You overcome by the words of your testimony.